Hey guys, it's Ashley Murray here. Today I'm going to be talking about my eyeshadows. I have a collection of about 15 eyeshadows. I'm going to be talking about the story behind them, my favorites, my not so favorites, why I keep them, and why I have such a big collection. So first I'm going to start off with my two Tarte palettes. One of them is the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2. And these, honestly, I got from BoxyCharm, like a lot of my eyeshadow palettes. This one has more neutral tones, but the reason I keep it, one, is because it's Tarte. I only paid $21 a month for the box, and this palette is probably about $25 to $30, so that's one of the reasons I keep it. Also because some of the shimmers in here are beautiful. I don't dive into the palette often because I have so many eyeshadow palettes, but some of the shimmers are actually really pretty. So when it's time for me to dive into the palette or I'm just looking through my collection, it is something that I will use. Also, the packaging is gorgeous. My other Tarte palette I also got from BoxyCharm. This is Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3. This palette also has more neutral tones. I would say this is the perfect prom eyeshadow palette. I didn't use it for my prom, but it's beautiful. And again, I get a lot of these eyeshadow palettes from BoxyCharm, and the ones that I see potential in, I do keep. And it might be better for me to donate some of them, but I do go through my collection regularly and get rid of some things. This I also got from BoxyCharm. This is StudioMakeup On-The-Go eyeshadow palette. And I've actually never heard of this brand before or have any other products from this brand. But this eyeshadow palette is beautiful. It's neutral, it blends well, the transition colors are phenomenal, they blend fantastically. They have different color browns in here, more neutral. So I'm going for a neutral smoky eye, that is my favorite. Also, these shimmers are impeccable. If you can see that copper shade, it's so bright, they're vibrant, and that's why I keep this palette. I say if you're looking for an everyday on-the-go palette, like it says, the StudioMakeup On-The-Go eyeshadow palette is phenomenal. And it's not a brand that's talked about a lot, which is why I also really like having my BoxyCharm, because it gives me new new makeup brands I've never heard of that I get to experience. This is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. This is You Had Me at Hello ColourPop shadow palette. This is actually the only ColourPop like pressed shadow palette that I've ever tried, but it's beautiful. Again, like many other my palettes, it's a neutral palette, but it does lean more pinky undertones. It has a beautiful size mirror. The shimmers are amazing. They're matte, blend beautifully. They have a lot of transition colors that I can use in many different looks. And again, look at these shimmers. I know they're all starting to kind of look the same, but when I have something that stands out to me that's beautiful, I keep it. I just think I like having a variety in my makeup, and this is beautiful. I definitely want to try more. My favorite color in this palette is actually, I think it's either Want You Back or DTR. It has one of the flipped names in the back, so I'm not sure. But it's a perfect silver bronzy shade. I'm gonna show you right here. If you're just looking for a beautiful bronzy smoky eye, that's the color to go for in my opinion. These palettes are really cheap, but they're beautiful. So that's definitely one of my favorites. Another one of my favorites is from Huda Beauty. This is a Warm Brown Obsessions palette. Again, another neutral palette, but this leads definitely more red, more warm. It's a perfect compact eyeshadow. I travel with this all the time. It has all the mattes that you'll need. It only has one shimmer, which is like a golden color. So definitely I would say if you like more variety in your makeup looks, maybe bring an all shimmer palette, because this is mostly a matte palette, but it's beautiful. You can get a natural everyday look with it. You can go more smoky because it has those deeper brown tones, but it's actually the best warm tone palette that I have. So I really love this. I definitely want to try more of the larger size Huda Beauty palettes, but this is perfect travel, and again, has a great mirror. Next, this is the Juvia's Place, the Saharan 2 palette. And this palette is honestly gorgeous. The pan size is huge. The colors are impeccable. Everything about this palette is like stand out. This isn't for the faint of heart. It blends beautifully, but the colors are bright, they're bold. The shimmers are colors that I don't have. These blues are beautiful. The mattes in this complement every single shimmer perfectly, but you want to make sure that you're going in with a light hand because like I said, it's not for the faint of heart. It really pops out at you like I believe most Juvia's Place eyeshadows do, and that's honestly why I like it. I never have to go in and maybe this color won't blend or this color will be too bold. It's absolutely perfect. Next, I just got this palette this month from my May BoxyCharm. This is, I think this was May, I believe. It's the PUR Festival Palette. Has a beautiful mirror as well, which I love because you need like travel mirrors. And this, I would say, is a gorgeous palette. It actually smells pretty good also, which is a bonus, not necessary, but it's definitely a bonus. I haven't played around with this eyeshadow palette too much. What I will say is these two shades, 24 Karat Magic and Fireworks, are very different. It's sort of like a pressed glitter, not like a shimmer. So when you press it, it's more putty. And it gives you a very different look, which I guess is why it's a festival themed palette. But if you can see, it's not something that you really like spread on. It's more like you dab it on. It's a very different texture. I haven't used them on the eyes yet, but I'm excited to see what this palette offers. I tried PUR mattes before and they're all beautiful, so hopefully I can figure out a way to use these more putty glitter shades. But that's why I really kept this palette around, because I want to test out the formula a lot more. Next is another one of my favorite palettes. This is Lunar Beauty by Manny MUA, his color palette, and this is Greek Goddess. First, before I even open it, this is the best packaging of all time. It's 3D sort of, so it stands out. It's just, when I saw his video, I knew that I needed to have it. The packaging is better than any eyeshadow packaging I've ever had or encountered. The mirror is huge. I won't blind you guys with it. But these shades are what you need for every day to go, if you want to go out, if you want a smoky eye, if you want a neutral eye. They are absolute perfection. They blend incredibly. And also, packaging. That's really where it starts with me. It already gets a 7 out of 10 for the packaging, and then the eyeshadows really just boost it up. So this is definitely one of my favorite palettes. I think everyone should go get it. Next, I'm gonna move into, this is a Violet Voss Pro eyeshadows, and this is in #MyHolyGrail, and it's exactly what it says. It's a neutral eyeshadow palette. It's your holy grail palette because it has your everyday shadows in it. If you had this, I wouldn't say that you need any other shadows. If you're just an everyday woman, just goes to work, goes to school, and just needs some neutral eyeshadow palettes. Nobody needs as many eyeshadow palettes as I do, especially as just an everyday consumer, but I love makeup. It's a passion of mine, so I have plenty. But I would say if you got this palette, you don't need anything else. It has a great mirror to travel with, and I think it's beautiful. It's not my favorite because I have other ones that really just stand out, more punchy with the color and the pigment. But if you're looking for an everyday palette, I would definitely recommend this one. Next, I'm going into one of my favorites. This was a favorite for such a long time of mine. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I'm sure everyone has heard of this. Also has an amazing mirror. And this is red tones, pink tones. Beautiful, great for Valentine's Day, great for a romantic date night. It's absolutely beautiful. If you see, I've hit pan on 3 of these shades, and I plan on finishing this and getting another one. I've had this for at least a year or so, and it's beautiful. The colors blend fantastically. I love Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love their eyeshadows. They're just absolutely amazing. If you like warm tone red looks, definitely a keeper. Definitely. I'm almost done, guys. I have a lot. This is Ace Beauty Grandiose palette. I got this in BoxyCharm as well. When I saw, I wasn't really as excited when I saw, like, I didn't really know the brand. And then I opened it and I saw how beautiful these colors are. Formulated a little bit like Juvia's Place, where they're bright, they're punchy. When you put them on, they are pigmented. My favorite shade in this is Rose. It is the most beautiful hot pink shade. It blends impeccably. It's gorgeous. And the reason I honestly keep this is because of the shade Rose. I don't have a hot pink like that, and I love having it in my collection when I want to go out and I want a feistier look, not a red tone, but really a hot pink, Barbie pink. It's absolutely beautiful. So I would recommend that if you're looking for a brighter pink in your collection. This is another PUR palette. This is Sahara Desert. I'm not sure. But this is just another neutral palette. Honestly, I probably don't need this. I probably don't need most of my neutral palettes because they have the same colors. But when I see something that I love, that inspires me, that gives me what I need, I like to keep it around. I share with my friends, I share with my mom. And this is honestly just another brown tone palette. It's beautiful, it blends well. If you're looking for a more neutral leaning bronze and more brown taupey colors, I would say pick this palette up. Also has a beautiful mirror and marble packaging, which is gorgeous. Next, this is the Crown Pro palette. This, I would say, is not one that I think I'm going to keep around for much longer. It's beautiful, it's neutral, it's brown, has a little bit of red undertones, but it's really not my favorite. It's okay, but it doesn't give me as much as all my other palettes do, but I keep it around because, like I said, I'm a makeup hoarder. I love it. I have so much of it that I don't use. I use about the same 3 to 4 palettes on a regular basis, but I still keep all of these around because I love them so much. It's a personal problem that I need to work through. But next, this is Alamar Cosmetics Reina de Caribe Volume 1. Not sure how to say that. It's in Spanish, but this palette is absolutely gorgeous. It's more vacation-y when if you're on an island, think you're holding like a martini and you have this palette on. That is what this palette is. It's gorgeous. It has those punchy blue colors that I love. It has the mattes that you need. The only thing I will say is I'm not a fan of the color Cafecito. It really does not blend on my eyes. It might be a defect in mine because I haven't heard that in any other videos I've watched. But if you're looking for a tropical vacation and a palette, this is it. Only a few more. This is another one of my favorites. This is a Pretty Vulgar Nightingale eyeshadow palette. Has a nice mirror, but the reason I love it so much is because it is bronzy taupe. It doesn't lean red, it doesn't lean more orange, it doesn't lean pink. It is simply neutral brown smoky. It's gorgeous. I love using this for a normal, like a smoky eye when I'm going out, and I want it to be more neutral and just simply bronzy. I don't want something that's more red or orange or pink. I want something that's neutral based, and that is what this palette is. So if you're looking for something to go out for a smoky eye, this is what I recommend. It's gorgeous and it's pretty cute. It's shaped like a bird cage, so that's pretty cool. This is my only Morphe palette actually. This is the Morphe 3502 Second Nature palette. Like most people, I mean, it's a gorgeous palette. As you see, the black popped out, but it was probably just a defect, not enough glue. But it's a gorgeous palette. It's warm, it's brown. It has some punchy reds, which I really like. But honestly, it has so many browns that I don't use it as often. It just, when I looked at it at first, I loved it. But then like the more I look at it, the least inspired I get by it for some reason. It's so many of the same color with like a different undertone, different tone. That's not my favorite. But it's something that I keep around for if I'm doing other people's makeup. It's really great to have just a variety of different browns and different tones. So if that's what you're looking for, I would say get this palette. Going into, oh, I guess this is Morphe technically. This is Morphe X Jaclyn Hill The Vault. Honestly, I got this as a collector's item. I keep it in the box, keep it in the packaging. I don't use these as often, but I love Jaclyn Hill, so that's why I got it. This is the Ring the Alarm palette. Beautiful, warm, browns. Beautiful. I just don't use them as often. I mostly got them because I love Jaclyn Hill. This is a Bling Boss. I don't use this as much because I don't use purpley tones as much as I should, because I do think it complements my eye color. I just don't use it as much. This is Dark Magic. I actually really love this one. This is more jewel tones, more blue. If I had to keep one of these, it will probably be Dark Magic, simply because I don't have these colors. I don't have these greens, I don't have these blues, I don't have these smokier colors. So I do love this one. This is very beautiful. And lastly, Armed and Gorgeous. This is your oranges, your reds. It has that green, but really it's just like any other warm palette. Like I said, out of the vault, I would definitely get Dark Magic if you're looking for something different. But if you're a Jaclyn Hill fan like I am, you buy anything she puts out, because that's just who I am. So I bought this. I keep it on my vanity. I love it. And lastly, my holy grail palette. The best palette in the entire world is the Morphe x Jaclyn Hill palette. It's messy. It's not pretty. When I open it, it's not pretty. I got this first day it launched about a year to 2 years ago. I love it. It is the best palette. I've worn it when I've gone to weddings. I've taken it on vacation. It is a little bit bigger. It doesn't have a mirror, but that doesn't matter to me. The colors blend impeccably. You have your warm tones, you have your red tones, you have your bronzes, you have your pops of color. Anything you need is in this palette. And I would recommend anybody and their mother to go pick up this palette. They still sell it at Ulta. They actually have an updated packaging that I'll probably get soon, just because this one is gone through it. I've used it a lot, but like I said, it's my favorite palette. So this is my eyeshadow collection. What I will say about all these is I love my eyeshadows. It's my favorite part of makeup. It's my favorite thing to buy. And I would say if you're a collector, it doesn't matter if you have the same colors in 4 different palettes. If you love all the palettes, you should buy all the palettes. In my opinion, if that's what you're passionate about, then let that be what you're passionate about. And this is what I'm passionate about. I'm going to have some more videos using these palettes coming up very soon, especially the Jaclyn Hill palette, because I want to show some different varied looks that you can use with this palette, going from daytime to nighttime and things like that. So if you like this video, make sure you like it, share it. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at itsofficial_AshleyMarie. Subscribe. I'll be here every Tuesday, Thursday, and the occasional Sunday. Thank you for coming. Bye.